sandwich.
I'm not talking about the M or the N. I'm talking about the D.
I don't say the D.
Talking about the D.
Nope.
But there's no M in the word sandwich.
Sandwich.
There's no M.
Sandwich.
I think a lot of people say sandwich. I guess people say Sammy. I'm making a Sammy.
Sure. Of course
But
they
it's a
do.
sand.
That's true.
But you hit
So what blows my mind is before Colleen's scandal, they were getting a very solid amount of views on this podcast. People were voluntarily, willingly listening to them discussing all the brands of peanut butter, how to say sandwich properly.
Can you say?
Toronto.
Yeah, see, they don't pronounce the T.
Toronto.
I think that's the same thing as saying
Toronto.
sandwich.
I'm not going to say Toronto.
You know what? I've just answered my own question as to how they have so many viewers. They just rope you right in. You don't even know what you're doing, and all of a sudden you're like, is it sandwich or sandwich? Do I say Toronto or Toronto? These are such important questions. Help me. Somebody help me. Good morning, guys, or afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. I come back to you looking like I haven't slept at all, so that's great. But I've been starting to get requests for certain episodes that people would like me to react to from Colleen and Erik's Relax podcast. So today we're actually going to throw it back to number 76, where Colleen is reacting to Erik's Instagram. From what I understand, hopefully this is the correct one. I will fully admit that I get really insecure with the idea of guys just having random Instagrams, or even some girls. It's one click away, and Instagram is just not a great place sometimes. But I do love, my Instagram, I do have one, and my home feed is filled with like bunnies and cockatiels and like the random Taylor Swift post, which don't ask. But anyway.
Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home, but now we have big microphones.
Oh yeah, they filmed this during early
You can
COVID.
relax, that's the name of our podcast. Hello, welcome to Relax the Podcast. I'm Colleen Ballinger, and what's your name?
I'm Flynn
You're Flynn.
Stocklin.
Flynn Stocklin. And I decided I was with the kids, all three. Maisie and Wesley are playing with toys behind us. If you're listening, you might hear some
yeah.
rattles. Do you think they could hear that?
Boy,
Val?
so Flynn has really just started off being a performer ever since ever.
Ollie?
No, I could. Maybe not.
That's a good one. So usually I do this with Daddy, but today I'm doing it with
Yeah.
you.
I will say, I don't know anything about Flynn, but he does seem really intelligent to me, so I wish him all the best.
So is there anything you want to say? Because today Flynn said he wanted to do the podcast, so while Daddy's
Yeah.
working and doing his own thing, I was like, why don't we just do it, right?
Well, yeah.
Because you're pretty good at this. So in the
Delicious.
podcast, we usually say something that needs to relax.
Yeah.
So today, you know who I bet needs to relax for you?
Yes.
That toy you were just playing with, huh?
Yeah.
Was it kind of frustrating you?
Yes.
It was. What kind of toy was it?
It was race car. The race cars that go through a tunnel.
Yeah, and you said it was kind of disappointing. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I actually don't really feel comfortable having a little kid on here, so we're just gonna cut past the little kids. Sorry I did that, guys.
Good
Damn.
job, Wesley. See, Wesley can say "dad" now, which is very exciting. Be dedicated to liquid IV because it
and
keeps
now they have
hydrated
an
and
ad.
it tastes. Well,
You didn't like grape products? You ever have grape soda?
Yeah.
When they say Concord grape?
Isn't that to be able to
Wait, is
fart
this the
in your mouth
podcast?
every day for
Is
the
that
rest
have
of
we
it?
started?
Okay, I just skipped forward, and you know what? I don't even care to understand what this sentence was all about, so we're just gonna ignore that. Colleen being the potty joke queen.
Have started. Because
You
listen,
can't just rip ass and then
I
be
didn't.
like, I didn't, and then we're starting. Like,
I really didn't
start
fart.
over.
No, we're not starting over. We already started. Actually, I already started. I already did the first segment with the kids. That's your surprise.
No, Erik, we're not doing what you want. Too bad for you.
The whole
Really?
first segment I did with all three kids. Absolute chaos.
He didn't even know. Now, let me know. I kind of, within the last year or two, have been starting to become more aware of people's concern, and I think very valid concern, with putting kids online. I think it's absolutely true that it's unfair to be putting family members of any age, really, without them even being able to say, yeah, I don't mind my entire life being broadcast from the age of whatever till whatever. Like, if they're too young to really comprehend that, they shouldn't be on camera. And that's something that I've been growing in understanding, yeah, that's a very valid point. And I don't know if that viewpoint was popular in early COVID or if that's really only kind of come about in the last few years. Maybe y'all can let me know. But yeah, the fact that she didn't even ask Erik, I almost wonder, and this is just speculation, but I almost wonder if she would have been like, he's probably going to say no, so I'm just going to do it. So he can't say no. I don't know. Could be wrong.
When?
It was craziness.
Okay.
When you're upstairs earlier, working or resting or doing whatever, you
were very entitled to be doing today. I was like, I'm going to try to get a head start on the podcast for us.
Really?
What?
Yeah. So we did
Very entitled. That was very bitter. Speaking of very.
for a segment, and it was absolute chaos, craziness. But Wesley said "dada" on the microphone.
Did you really?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know that he's.
Look at their body language. He's not even looking at her. I mean, obviously, she just kind of started out insulting him and also doing something she didn't even talk with him about. So he's probably kind of like, well, gee, thanks for nothing. But just look, he's not even making eye contact for very long.
saying dada as if.
He is saying dada.
He's saying, yeah.
No, he's saying "dada." He's saying "dada." That counts. You should own that. Because when Flynn said "mama" first.
Yeah, you
and
definitely own that.
I definitely owned it. And he did not know what he was. I think he said it like 3 or 4 months. He was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, he said "mama." So you should own it. So
Way to make fun of your young child.
his first word originally was
You should
yeah,
own it.
I think.
Uncle John.
Uncle John.
You should own it.
But Maisie's
Uncle
first
John.
word is her. She knows what she's saying.
What's she saying?
Hi.
Hi.
She just goes hi.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do hate the fact that Maisie, all her kids are so displayed, but I will say Maisie all the kids are just stinking adorable. Also, I know this can happen. I have family friends that this happened where the mom and dad are both brown-eyed people, and they have like light hair, blue-eyed kids. Also, other kids with the same features. But it's so interesting that all of their kids have light hair and light eyes. That was just kind of weirded me out a little bit as a parent, but...
Anyway.
Now I'm very thrown because I thought we were starting the podcast.
No, it's already
and
been started.
This is like the middle?
We're like 15 minutes in, probably 10 minutes
So
in.
we're starting in the middle of the podcast.
No.
You totally fart.
I really didn't fart.
Then blame it on me? Or just
No, I didn't blame
just
it on
deny
you.
it?
No, I just really
Supplied
didn't.
it? Denied it.
When have I ever denied a fart?
And we're in
first
the
of all?
middle. It's now I feel very discombobulated.
But when have I ever not admitted to a fart? What would be the point of not admitting to a fart? For me, personally. I love.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm glad that at least she supposedly is willing to admit to her farts. If she could just admit to a few other things in life, we'd be good.
Farting, and what do I love more than farting? When people smell my farts. Like that makes me so happy. When someone else is like, oh,
does?
it stinks so bad. Oh, it makes me laugh.
Exactly. What? Sorry, my laundry's going off. Why would she love that? How? Colleen, how old are you? Oh my word.
Makes me laugh so hard.
What about like strangers?
Not that, but like, but like if you were to smell it, or like my family members, like, oh my god, I laugh so hard. Anyway, so I asked everyone on Twitter who needs to relax or what needs to relax.
I
got
saw
a
that. I saw that you did
ton of
that.
responses.
I've actually screenshotted some of my favorites.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into that, or is there something else you wanted to talk about?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's almost like we didn't discuss at all what we were going to do, and we just came in willing to surprise each other with our plans that we just expected the other person to go along with. Wow.
also have like a notes memo of lots of things from this week that I
Okay.
think need to relax.
Well, before we get into that, because I'm sure they're all just making fun of me, I wanted to say something Flynn said tonight as I was laying with him, cuddling him to sleep, that I didn't want to forget. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
So Erik tonight put, what?
It's weird you saying my name.
Oh, I thought you smelled a
I
fart
don't think
again.
you're good at saying my name.
You're horrible at saying mine.
That's fine. That's fine. And
How am I bad
and
at
I
saying-
own that.
Wait,
I
Erik?
own-
How's that?
Colleen.
Wait, how do I say it wrong? Erik?
Just,
Wait, what's wrong with
just
it?
the way you say it. It just makes it sound kind of gross.
I love your name.
Say it again.
Erik.
Say it like you mean it.
Erik. How do I say it weird? Do I say something weird?
Erik.
Because like you say my name real weird.
I honestly, I mean, it can't happen, but I would be so crushed if my husband said to me, boy, the way you say my name, it just makes it sound gross. Like, I would probably burst into tears immediately. I've never heard that, like, insult before, but, like, really, if you think about it, telling the person that's supposed to be the closest person in the world to you, who supposedly knows you the absolute best out of anyone in the world, oh yeah, I absolutely detest the way you say my name, like, that just makes my heart sad right now thinking about it. What a bizarre... I'm not surprised someone told me to react to this. Oh,
Wow.
We're not even 15 minutes in. Half of it was just pointless, and I'm cringing so
I know
hard.
every time you say it, it like
Colleen.
throws me. Huh?
Colleen.
Yes, it's so bizarre. You hit the O so hard.
The O?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just snapping back and forth. They're like, well, you know what? I got one better on you.
Okay. Colleen.
No,
Wait,
I'm
but I
saying that
can't
that's
say
what you're.
Colleen.
No. I'm saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that like it should just be clean.
Clean.
Well, now
So
you're
it's just
saying
like I'm just saying
clean.
clean?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Clean.
Yeah, no.
Clean.
Don't do that. You never.
It's
Anyway.
not Colleen.
Well, that no. You don't put the.
Clean.
Anyway, so tonight
It's not possible.
my husband
There you
put
go.
like those glow-in-the-dark sticky stars and moons that literally every child on the planet has in their childhood bedroom. Like I had them.
I had them too, and
Like,
it was a
everyone.
big moment for me that at a toy store today I saw them, and I was like, tonight I'm going to put those on a ceiling, not realizing how high the ceilings are in his bedroom. They're very high. So I had to climb on top of his bulldozer bed and standing, and he was so terrified for me, like he thought I was going to die.
Well,
I
he
put him
loved
up
it.
there. Yeah, did he?
Yeah, and so I get into bed to cuddle with him, and we're looking at the stars, and he goes, "Mommy, so now when you sleep in my room, just so you know, when you sleep in here, if anyone sleeps in my bulldozer bed in my room, when you sleep, it feels like you're in spouter space."
Oh.
And I said,
That's
"Where?"
what I told him. I
And
told him his ceiling is now outer space. Yeah.
Spouter
Well,
space.
he thinks it's spouter space.
That's so
Because
cute.
then I said, "Where does it feel like you are?" He said, "Spouter space." I was like, "Oh, cool. What's in spouter space?" He said, "The
Yeah.
stars and the moon." And I said, "Who lives there?"
So I'm just going to pause real quick, completely unrelated comment. But look at how much healthier Colleen looks. It is insane what she's done to herself during this whole period of just freaking out over the fact that she's lost control of her career.
He thought for a long time. I was like, "What's he gonna say?" I just
Yeah.
thought he'd go nothing, or He goes, "Aliens." I
He
couldn't
knew-
believe
yeah.
that. I was like, "Oh my god, how do you know that?" And I was like, "That's who lives in outer space." He goes, "Yeah, that's who lives in outer space." No, spouter space.
I
Like
love
corrected
it.
himself.
I love it. It's cute.
But anyway, I had to say that because I thought it was so cute, and I don't want to forget it.
Speaking of who needs
spouter
to
space?
relax,
Yeah, I was gonna say who
spouter
needs-
space.
You're
And, like,
married.
pictures
Relax,
of
love.
spouter space, and like let's get
So
closer, but
crazy.
like let's get close to outer space, but then let's zoom out to like freak you out about how like small that window into spouter space is. Like I can't handle that. I can't handle living on this planet. I can't handle knowing that there's so many other planets and how insignificant everything that I'm saying right now
right.
is and being right. I just can't.
It's crazy.
Like I don't need anything close.
Just looking at Colleen's body language, she's like, busy itching her nose, and she's like, yep, crazy. Anyway, back to me, back to what I have to say. Maybe that's not what's going on. I don't want to be unduly unkind, but that's just what she looks like. She reminds me, yet again, I don't mean to be insulting with how many times I talk about how she seems like a little kid. It's just that the humor she has and the physicality she has really seems like a little kid. I can just imagine a little kid just standing there being bored, looking all around, just like, oh, when do I get to do the things I want to do? Like, that's really the vibe she gives off.
If you got a telescope and you can get like a closer picture of spouter space, I don't want to see
do.
it. I don't.
I love it.
And I don't want to talk about it, and I don't want everyone to. Strangers were freaking out about it to me.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so cool. So you think the pictures need to relax? Just scientists like stop sciencing? Stop it, NASA. They need to relax.
Just all of it. Like I bought when we were in Vancouver. I bought you like those sunglasses and that outfit in that store. The girl ringing me up was like, "Do you see those pictures of outer space?" Like it was so weird. Like,
Did you say actually it's spouter
I
space?
corrected her. I said it's spouter space. But I just like we're all just running amok, like realizing that nothing matters. But it all still matters. I don't know because it matters to me.
more.
It matters more. Thank you.
It matters more because think about it. Like you really just got this like one life to live. Like live it to the fullest. Like you know what I mean? Every single day, every single moment.
Well, it's more
like,
about we got this one planet to live. At least for people here now, and for my children. There's like certain countdowns to catastrophic things if we don't
shape up.
shape up.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well,
So I'm seeing these pictures of. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
it's
you off.
fine.
But to finish my thought, I'm seeing these pictures of outer space, and I'm also seeing articles about how our planet is just
dying.
No,
dying.
that's really interesting how he reached out to her and grabbed her arm. Like, that was a very loving touch. I don't know if I've ever really seen her do a loving touch back to him much. But anyway, a very soothing, like kind of up and down, like, sorry gesture.
You know what I mean? And then I'm looking
Let's not make that dirty.
at our kids' faces, and I just want it all to like.
Relax.
Yeah, like when you were a kid. I feel like global warming was the thing when I was a kid. Like, we
Not
were-
as much. I think it was
certainly
more
not
like
as much.
wackadoos thought. Like when I was a kid, I remember being like, that crazy person is obsessed with the earth. You know, like and it was like a weird thing.
Or in Aliens, it was like Aliens, Area 51, like weirdo, like it wasn't really.
And now it's like, oh wow, they were so right. Why
now
we're-
it's pretty much like confirmed, like aliens.
what
There's tons of
on
them.
earth did
And-
you do to that head?
What do you mean?
Why is that like? Okay, so in the background of if you're just listening, there is a
Okay, have aliens been... I was just getting distracted with looking at all the other things going on in their conversation. Have aliens actually been confirmed? I feel like the most I ever heard was like there might be some sort of somewhat living life form on Mars. I don't know. Let me know if I'm missing something or if they said something I missed. And yes, I also would like to know why it looks like there's one of those heads that like the headhunters used to do stuff with, whatever those people were way back when. Anyway.
A head that used to be on a mannequin here in this office. And Erik has decapitated the mannequin that used to be dressed like Miranda, painted it, but then the head of the mannequin is now painted white with like blood all over its mouth. Like, what did you do?
I can talk more about this if you want.
Can you tell me why you did that? What's happening?
Well, first
I'm
I want to talk about the
terrified.
mannequin. So
Yes.
the mannequin under the clothes and everything that has been in the background on the podcast since its inception is actually my longest running female relationship. It is a mannequin
Oh,
that
than
I
your
found.
mother?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but it is a mannequin that I found halfway hanging out of a dumpster here in Los Angeles after living here for 2 months. I got out of my crummy job, and then I was driving behind a mall, and behind the
Okay, I'm just gonna pause. Any sentence that says that mannequin is my longest running female relationship, I have so many questions. I can't speak English. I have so many questions and so many concerns. This better go somewhere not really terrifying.
in the mall, there were dumpsters and this golden
Why
mannequin.
are you driving behind a mall?
I'm just always driving behind malls.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the most
What do you
interesting
mean?
part of the story
It
to
was,
me.
really? It was on
Who
the way.
drives behind a mall?
It was on the way home. What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
Creepy men
Just
who
the
get
alley of the
mannequins.
mall is like
Yeah,
the
it
way
was-
to get to your house.
Century City, to be exact. There's like that Century City
Okay.
Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I will take that home. I'm gonna pull over. I'm gonna take that out of the dumpster. I will take it home to my roommates, which they all loved. Nicknamed the Golden Lady.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it's like I've just had it in every place I've ever lived forever since I've been out here. And then we dressed it for Halloween and put a pumpkin on their head. And then it became in the background here with the
Okay, that is kind of a fun idea. Like the headless horseman. Why can I not? Okay, we'll stop talking.
Halloween clothes still on. Underneath, I put a relaxed hoodie on this mannequin, but the pumpkin stained Halloween overalls were still underneath all of that. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
That is
So
disgusting.
the other night when you were away on tour, and the babies were asleep, I randomly was like, I'm gonna.
I was home whenever you painted that.
You were not.
When you painted the mannequin, yeah, you said I have a text of you being like painting in the
Oh,
backyard.
you
I was
were home. Yeah.
I was putting the babies to sleep. And when I came downstairs, you were
See,
like,
I can be weird if you're home or not.
yeah, of course.
Either way. And that mannequin head was on it. Someone in this house had put like a temporary tattoo on. I had bought that mannequin head and put it on the mannequin, but somebody took it upon themselves to put like temporary tattoos on the mannequin face.
Nice. What kind? Trucks?
I don't know what they were from. No, not trucks. It was like some company or something. I don't know. And
Okay. So
I
you
didn't like
painted
that because it was my mannequin head, so I just was like, I'm gonna paint the mannequin face
just all white, like
white,
terrifying.
but I did it with my hands. I don't think it's that.
No, that's terrible. The mouth and the eyes are
Okay,
white.
so we're about to see a close up. I would just like to say, I feel like we need a psychologist to react to what we're about to see because this is just a rabbit hole of so many question marks in my head right now.
out. Like it's freaking weird, dude. Like that's terrifying.
Here's the thing.
Why are the lips like that?
So it can be like Miranda.
That does not look like Miranda.
Because this is how he sees you deep down inside. Oh, we really need the psychologist to react to this. This is mortifying.
This
This
looks
is
like a horror film.
this is the stuff of like Halloween movies.
I think it's that scary.
Look at the one eye that has the white on it. Yeah, not that scary, Eric. I'm gonna pray for your soul.
Love, that's crazy terrifying. Are
It's
you
not
a
weird
psychopath?
to have this in a house with children.
That is the scariest thing ever.
It's
like,
maybe
for
the most
sure.
normal thing I've done.
Oh my god.
Okay, he's joking.
No, it came out pretty scary. In fact, it is. After I did it, I then put it in a closet.
Yeah, as it,
And it's just been
where
in a
it should
closet.
live.
And then when I was setting up to film the podcast today, I was like, I'll take it out of the closet.
Pretty scary.
Can you imagine if, like, this is just such a random tangent, but like if someone was selling their house and they cleared it out, but they forgot that they left this thing in a closet, and then people were coming to tour the house and they saw that? I would run from that home screaming the entire way. Like, oh my word.
Bro.
Which may have been a mistake. But I think that this mannequin head was on Amazon. Not a sponsor, not promoting them. But I think it was to train people to do hair.
Okay.
That wanted to learn to do hair for a living. And I know that one of the things that you say at your meet and greets is kind of a backup plan when you first started Miranda's, that you wanted to go to cosmetology school.
It wasn't a backup plan. It was the plan.
It was the plan.
Before Miranda. It wasn't like Miranda took off and then I was like,
Miranda was going to be?
No,
was gonna do
I
hair?
was no.
Oh,
Miranda
you
didn't
were.
exist. So you're saying it was a backup plan? It wasn't a backup plan. It was the plan
plan.
prior
Okay.
to Miranda
Oh, I
existing.
thought it was at the same time. Okay.
It was right before.
All right.
Yeah,
That is
I wanted-
so interesting. So I feel like, I know we've mentioned it before, but like I feel like Miranda happened because for whatever reason, Colleen was not able to find success just being herself as a performer, which I'm sure gutted her. But that's interesting because I think she's all but confirming that, saying she was planning on going to cosmetology school, likely because her performing career was not going where she wanted it to. And then Miranda became successful, so then she was able to finally perform as this character that is making fun of all the other successful performers out there. It's so interesting.
I wanted to go to cosmetology school.
And you wanted to
I wanted to learn how to do hair because I wanted to style wigs for theater.
Okay, so here's a wig for theater.
So
Should I
interesting.
put it on like a stool?
So she wanted to be involved in theater in whatever way she could, so she couldn't be in front. She would do behind the scenes work. Very interesting. Maybe there's a lot of people like that. I don't know.
If you want to. It's not going to be very stable. I'm going to have to put it between my legs probably, so like keep it locked in there.
Relax. Here you go. So during this episode, you're going to style this wig head as if you would for, let's pick a show.
Well, you can't just do that because it's...
Anton Chekhov's The Seagull.
What? I don't know what that is. But wait, time out a second. Is this synthetic or is this human hair? This looks synthetic.
Of course it's synthetic.
So, like, I can't...
It's not a human hair wig.
I can't put heat on it. The only thing I can do with this hair is like braid it and put it in ponytails. I can't curl
right
it.
now it's like this, and at the end of the episode, we're going to show them what you've done, and we'll see if anyone would have hired you to do wig makeup.
No one
for
would have.
theater. Here you go.
Okay.
It just gives you something to fidget with, I think. You
Yeah.
can just have that in your lap, and you can be fidgeting with that the whole time.
Okay, well, we're going to have to plug in my like little microphone into the stick thing so that I can not be hands-free because I'm holding my mic right now. So we're actually going to do that while we're saying thanks to our next sponsor. So
Did I say who
course.
needs to relax?
Yeah, you said outer
Was it
space.
space?
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Yeah. See, I think
It's
my
too
brain...
deep.
That's
That's too deep.
I think my brain needs to relax about outer space because I actually think it's really cool and I love it and I'm fascinated by it and I want to learn about it as much as I can. But I feel like I'm too dumb to understand it. So every time I've read
for sure.
or listened to someone explain like why the image...
Yet again, she's been talking about how dumb she is for a long time, and I cannot grasp. Does she really think she's dumb? I feel like maybe she thinks she's really dumb, which is just a mean way to think about yourself. But like maybe she thinks she's dumb in some areas, but brilliant and deserving in others. Maybe she doesn't think she's dumb at all. I don't know. I have such a hard time deciding how dumb she really thinks she is because she says it all the time.
Which is warped and like the light years and the time and the reflection of it's going through another galaxy. I'm like trying so hard to understand. My brain cannot comprehend it. And I feel so dumb. And so who needs to relax for me is my own brain trying to comprehend it because I'm so angry that I'm not smart enough to understand it.
I don't think I'm smart enough to understand all the things you're talking about, but I follow them when they explain them. But then when they start zooming out and just showing how much small of a fraction that picture comes from, then I just don't, I'm just like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Good night.
I love it.
Like I'm
It's
going
so
to bed.
cool.
No, yeah, I love it too. And also like, I don't.
Well,
Relax.
I like it.
There's too much of it. Outer space.
There is a lot of outer space.
It's freaky.
Outer space.
It is.
Outer space, sorry.
All right, let's say thanks to our next sponsor.
Let's
All right,
get
our next
over another
sponsor, you know, they got the key to my heart that you're matched to. And I wouldn't have plans because I wanted to style wigs, not humans.
I was hoping it would take longer
professional
because this
wig
video is
stylist?
For
long.
theater, for musical
Yeah.
theater.
Oh, okay.
You know, a normal job. There's a huge market for this. Anyway, sorry. Do you want me to read some Who Needs to Relaxes today from our audience? Or did you want to?
I'm sure they're better than mine. I can get to what I wrote down this week after.
She has
All right,
paint
we're going to
in her
read
hair.
some of your Twitter responses to Who Needs to Relax this week. So this one I had to talk about. Patrick, Patrice Moondog said, Colleen singing uncontrollably instead of uncontrollably. That's how it sounds to me. That needs to relax. And what this person is talking about is in my song that I wrote that I still have not recorded for the internet yet, but I've sung parts of it on the podcast. These are the things that made my toddler cry today. Oh, in the chorus, I go, these are the things that made him so uncontrollable. That's what I say. I do say uncontrollable.
Why?
Because E is a really hard vowel to sing on high. So I wanted to try to do it because it's
I do vaguely. I mean, I'm not a good singer by any means, but I did take voice lessons, not like super professional or anything, when I was younger. And I do remember her talking about like singing things in such a way that keeps your mouth kind of like your throat and your mouth just very kind of open. So that's probably what Colleen was trying to do because E is a very constricting sound. Look at me sounding like I know what I'm talking about. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but
this person said it needs to relax. Oh, here's my uke. Hold on.
She's getting her uke. For the listener, she stood up.
oh,
Now
the
she has a uke.
ukulele.
I didn't realize. Thank you for that narration.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was singing uncontrollably until this person pointed it out and made fun of me for it. And then I was like, oh yeah, because you can't really sing a high note on like an E, uncontrollably. Like that would sound bad and it would be hard to sing. So anyway.
No, it wouldn't. What?
I wonder if she really feels like the person is making fun of her. See, this is where it's just she's so conflicting because I think on the one hand she hates it when people make fun of her, but on the other hand she will take almost any attention she can get, and her character was built on making fun of other people. So I feel like a little part of her is like hurt that the person was judging her for saying but maybe part of her is like, but at least it's attention. I don't know. She's so conflicting.
Yeah, really high note to sing like with control and power and support is really hard to do on an E sound, on an eval, because it tightens your vocal cords. And it, like, in order to make the E sound, it gets really like a balloon. Like when you go like with a balloon, that's basically what your vocal cords are doing on an E. Whereas an ah or an O or like it opens up, so it's easier to get the sound out. You get a fuller sound. You see.
You seem like someone who's studied this at a Christian college.
What does this have to do with Christianity? Okay. Toddler cried today. Oh, these are the things that made him sob uncontrollably.
Seems like it'd be more lends itself to the E.
No, because
you would just have to do the E.
That's what I'm singing.
That's not a word. Uncontrollably.
Uncontrollably.
E. Yeah, there you go.
Why did I do that? It must be rhyming thing. Okay. Today. Oh, these are the things that made my sound. I'm trying to make it rhyme with today, I guess. Today. Uncontrollably. That's why I did that.
I don't know if that'll make it work better, because that's not how the word is said.
My toddler cried today. Oh, these are the things that made him sob uncontrollably. It doesn't rhyme.
Today, yep, nope, that's not a rhyme.
And it doesn't matter that it doesn't rhyme.
It matters
You've
to
heard
me.
songs before, right? Also, I would like to note that I also looked at this tweet and like the people responding to it. I don't know where you found that. You must have had to search hard.
It was one of the first ones.
I think you had to look hard to be like, oh.
No, I didn't.
Don't make me sing.
What? I honestly wasn't even planning on singing. Until
the way she responded to that, it's so interesting. She was not happy that he was saying she had to search pretty hard. And whether or not she did, I do feel like that is an indicator of the kind of person she is. And honestly, I've noticed that with YouTubers, and it's really quite heartbreaking. People that just like voraciously look for what everyone is saying. What are people saying now? What are they thinking now? What is their response now? It's just like, breathe. This should not be, like I've said already, this should not be your sense of worth. But I imagine she's one of those many people that's just like, what are the comments? What are people thinking? What are people saying? And then, I mean, now I can't even imagine that. Ugh.
We were recording this. I had no plans of singing it. I was just going to talk about how I did that. How would you do it? Sing.
I don't know how. Here, I'm going to get my guitar.
Okay.
These are the things that made him cry.
He's a good voice.
Uncontrollably. Yeah, you're right. It's not good. Right.
It's got to be
But I like his voice and I like his vibe. How did I not know that Erik could sing? That was actually really nice and relaxing. Unlike Colleen. Anyway, what?
These are the things
Colleen.
that made him cry. Uncontrollably.
Stupid. It's not laugh.
Oh, let's take her off.
It's uncontrollably. Like lay. Uncontrollably. Stupid.
Just turn it into like
Anyway.
a Screamo song. I never listened to Screamo, but I feel like they would say things that way and it would make sense. So just turn it into a Screamo song, which is perfect because it's singing about your song, singing about your kid crying uncontrollably, screaming, whatever. It'll all work. Whatever. Why am I helping them with marketing?
I think you're right. Hey,
that's a first. You've never said that in our entire relationship.
So look at my eyes.
I'm looking.
You're right.
You've never said that ever.
You were
What's
correct.
the word I'm looking for? What's the catch?
Wait, is she? She better be joking. Because if he has never said that she's right, that's worrisome. And the fact that she's pointing it out in front of everyone is trying to shame him subconsciously. These people have had a terrible dynamic since the start. See, I was really hoping they would have like a loving relationship and then everything that happened to Colleen is kind of what caused everything. This is, oh my word. Oh my, they need so much help.
What's the catch? What's the joke here? Okay, so that was the first one I wanted to
I feel
respond
like
to.
now you're, for the listener, she's going to be really distracted with this mannequin head for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, okay, so the next...
anyway.
Well, I get to do one now since you just got to do one.
Okay.
Did you say who said that
My
to you?
turn.
Yeah, Patrick.
Oh, right. Okay. Someone named Hey.
They're big
Hi,
mad now.
uncontrollable.
They're like, hi. Their name is Hay with an exclamation. I mean, is that their name or is that just? I don't know how Twitter works. It's not their name. It's not
Probably,
their-
I think it's Hayden because
Okay,
their
Hayden.
actual name says
losing
Hayden.
something in your bed that you just
I saw
had
that
in
one.
in your hand, shaking the blankets and the sheets. It's literally nowhere to be found. Then 4 years later, it randomly shows up in your bed. We have a big problem right now in this house.
With what?
We do not know where the Apple remote is.
Someone said that. Someone said remote. I actually screenshotted it, Lovey. I have to find it for you because that actually came up. Stressica said, tiny,
Straight out
look,
like that.
tiny
Yeah.
TV remotes that disappear right after you just use them. And this is an issue in our house and in our relationship because Erik has a habit.
I think this was my turn, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna say.
Yeah,
I was
saying
just
it's a
thinking
podcast.
she's talking over him, and she's not like, "Oh, sorry, yep, this was your turn. You talk."
Well,
I know,
speak.
but for if this was like a grand jury, like Inquisition, like just for the record, it was my turn. But go ahead.
Okay, then go ahead, go for it. I was just gonna say
She's just glaring daggers at him. Oh my word!
that he always loses it and he always blames it on me. But anyway, go ahead. It happened to me.
So, I just needed this chance to blame Erik and make him look stupid really quickly. Now, Erik, your turn.
The remote has been missing for 2 days. I don't know how you mean that. Like I always lose it and then I blame. I never blamed it on you. I just asked I asked you once if you knew where it was. I didn't
Okay,
blame it
so
on you.
The reason it is you who loses it is because you're the only one who, loses it is because you're the only one who uses
Okay.
it. You're the only one who uses it.
Yes, for the record, for the jury, like I guess you could say that like it would make more sense if I lost it because I'm the only one who functionally knows how to use the remote. Because you handling a remote is like when we first hand Maisie a toy.
Okay, this is gonna get real good. This is insane. Excuse me, sorry. So she blames him for always losing it, and he's like, well, how do I get back at her? So I'm gonna say, well, the only reason I lose it is because I'm the only one who uses it because I'm the only one who knows how to handle a remote. Colleen, thank you very much. And you act like our little child when you try. Oh my gosh, I am just dying on the inside.
It's just kind of like slapping and turning, and I don't know how this works, but I will turn it over and look at it very curiously. You don't know, and then you hand it to me. So that makes sense that I've used it, but that doesn't mean that I lost it.
But I don't touch it, so how else could it be lost?
Well, and no one said like, I wasn't like, hey, I didn't lose the remote. Do you know where it is? I just asked if you knew where it was because more to the point of what I was recognizing was how small and slender an Apple TV remote
Yeah,
is.
it's the worst. We even have a finder thing on it, but its battery's dead or something. Don't we have a finder thing on it?
Yes, I did put a finder thing on, and the battery's dead on that, so we can't find it. Some sort of like echo. If you beep it, it'll
Very
beep.
not helpful.
We don't know where it is.
But we don't. But that battery's dead, and that doesn't matter. But when I was a child, I had a TV, and it had, get this, listener, knobs on the side of it, like on the front, of it, that like really hard clicked, and that's how you changed a channel.
Of course.
And then there were remotes, and they were big.
Big remote.
And they were like all the rage.
I do remember
they were like,
those
check
TVs
this out. This is
with little knobs on the front. That was very early memories, if that's what he was talking about. Sorry, I was getting distracted by the fact my nose is running for no apparent reason. But yeah, I do remember having to like twist the knob on the TV. That's crazy.
It's a universal remote, and they were large, like a very large thing. Like, how big would you say they are?
They were very big, a foot long.
Good. Wait, you're so descriptive. Yeah.
How big
like
were they?
a foot long, like these giant
Almost a foot
remotes.
long. Yeah, they were huge.
And then it was like our buttons glow in the dark. You're not even gonna
Yeah.
believe this remote. It's crazy.
And then I'm going to tell you something.
You couldn't lose that.
I
thing.
would
There's
love
no way
to
you
know
could
what the heck Colleen is doing with that wig's hair because she is like ferociously grabbing at it.
lose that thing.
Well, I stopped believing in
And then
remotes.
Apple came out with the Apple TV, and the remotes are
No, something happened before that. That was tragic.
What?
So this is when I lost all hope in remotes. Is we used to have these big, awesome remotes that were just universal and simple. Numbers and up and down arrows. And power on and off. That's it. You got the volume, got the channel changer, you got the power on and off button. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Something terrible happened in the industry. We got DVDs, we got VCRs, we got Blu-ray, we got video games, we got all these things. We've got cable, but also there's other things you can plug in. Before all the internet stuff, and there were, all of a sudden, there were 20 remotes for your TV. You don't know which one turns on what and what buttons and inputs and menu
That's
items
true.
and all these things. And when that
Good
happened,
point. Fair point.
I said, I'm done with remotes. I'm just not going to watch anything. And so I'm anti.
That's true. There have been many conversations throughout my life of which remote do I need for this? Well, what about, well, this power button's not working on that remote. Well, no, that's because you have to turn on this thing first and then you use that remote to, it's just, yeah, that's, I too hate remotes now that I think about it. Thank you, Colleen and Erik. We agree on one thing.
Remote now. I don't like them because that really upset me that time of life.
Yeah, so much so that you stopped in 1997 and you've never learned how to use a remote technology-wise
Just make me
since
mad.
then. I get that. And yes, fair point. There was a point where we needed 7 remotes to operate a
I'm not
television.
kidding.
And
Wow.
then somehow Apple was like, hey, how about we give you this? What is it even like? It's because it's not like the size of a credit. It's like thinner and like in both ways than a credit card. Like, what is it even
When are we going to get to
resemble
Instagram?
What is an Apple remote like? What is it like?
It's like there's like a half of a butter knife.
Not even. No, it's because it's shorter.
I'm saying
Not
half
like,
of
it's
one.
not like a butter knife. You're saying an Apple TV remote, the
No,
closest thing you can think of?
well, you say something. I was just trying to think of something thin and metal. Like, good Lord, don't ask me my opinion and get mad at me for giving you my opinion.
It's like half the size of a
Kind
credit
of valid.
card, and it's like very slippery, and it just has like a trackpad on it. It needs to be
That never
charged.
works.
Like for your fingers, yeah, no, it never
It
works.
doesn't ever. Like, I can't change the channel.
He really does like digging in. I feel like they started this kind of off. If they start any of them not off, I don't know, but they really seem to be kind of emotionally off on this. And I think he's really enjoying finding any little reminder of like, Colleen, you are incapable of handling a remote. One thing I can dig back at you on.
Try not losing that in our couch with our
I
children.
think
It's absolutely
Oh,
impossible.
now it's our children's fault?
So I related to that
my
comment
gosh.
because it made me think about how we haven't had it for 3 days. And if you have children,
You guys are experiencing Eric's exaggeration of time in real time right now. Because at first it's been lost today, and then it was 2 days, and now it's 3 days. So keep going.
So now I'm going to insult you yet again. Everyone take a moment to pause so that I can insult Erik and say that he exaggerates things. Now that we've made it very clear, Erik, keep going. And he's just got, both times he's looked at the camera just like, but I mean, they're doing it to each other. So there's not really a worse or right person.
Point it out, because I love when you do that. It's my favorite thing.
I love when you do that. I love insulting you.
So if you have children and you have a living room, and you know that you no longer have access to your television, no matter your parenting style, I feel like you understand. This has been, it's made it really hard for us.
Yeah.
I mean, just in general.
Yeah, it's been hard the last 24 hours.
The last thing we watched was we tried to start watching the new season of Big Brother.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it was you.
I didn't touch the remote.
I'm still trying to find a way to blame it on you.
Exactly.
Okay, my turn. Can I do the next one from a listener
it's your
here?
turn, sure.
Okay. So, oh my God, there's so many. That one's more serious. Maybe we'll get to that one later. I have so many, love.
We got to do the next ads.
Oh, here's a good one. Okay, Bobby. Okay.
People named Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, who's named Bobby these days?
This person.
I actually had a female boss named Bobby years ago. I think it was Bobbie, and I don't remember if that was short for something or if that was her name. I totally forgot about that until just now. Interesting.
Is Bobby said, "Help! There is a huge relax for us. My wife Courtney is 4 months pregnant and it's a girl. We cannot decide between Skylar Grace or Aubrey Rose. Can you guys help us decide which name do you both like best?"
Well, you're not
Bobby.
going to know until they're born. I
Yeah.
really like Aubrey Rose, though.
Oh, I was gonna say Skylar Grace.
Of course.
I was gonna say Skylar. I knew this would happen when I screenshot this. I was
Okay.
like, I bet he's gonna like Aubrey. I love Aubrey Rose too. I, think
I
it's
can
so
get on
pretty.
board with Skylar unless it's spelled Schuler.
Huh?
There are people who are named Skylar, but it's spelled, it looks like Schuler.
I've never seen this.
Schuyler.
That's true.
You've never seen that version of
No.
Skylar?
That is annoying.
Oh, it's rampant.
That's wild.
It's a lot of people.
No, that's not what this person. It's regular Skylar. But I
Well,
don't know.
it's
Now I'm kind of
regular.
like when I read it, I like
Amber
Skylar
what?
Grace. When I read it, I like Skylar Grace. When I say it out loud, I kind of like Aubrey Rose.
Aubrey.
Aubrey's pretty.
Is that
I
close
love
to
the name
Amber Rose?
Skylar.
Isn't that somebody?
Amber Rose?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's someone.
I don't know anybody. But Skylar Grace.
Would this have been before the trial? I forget the timeline of that. Oh my word. Now no one. Or wait, Amber. Oh, I'm thinking Amber Heard. Ignore me. Whoops.
Okay, here's the thing though. You're talking to a girl who loves the letter Y. All 3 of my kids have a Y in their name. So Skylar with a Y, like it's kind of like, I'm gonna lean towards it. I think the name Grace is just so pretty. So Skylar Grace, I just really like, and I like the way it looks
I
on
have
paper.
tissues
Aubrey Rose
somewhere.
is really pretty when you say it.
It's weird. You have to,
See,
like,
for
see
us,
it.
when we were picking our kids' names, how we picked it is like we'd have to write them down and look at it. And like we could say the names all day long, like Flynn, Wesley, Maisie, and all the other names we had in the running. But when we wrote them down, don't you think that's how we picked? We had to see them visually. See, when I'm looking at it,
Bobby was my best friend in
Your
college.
best
Name.
friend?
Yeah, I think I was making fun of the name Bobby.
Come on.
For half about it. It's literally like my best friend in college. That was his name. Looking at it on paper, I
I
would
don't know.
say
Now I
Aubrey
like
Rose.
now I like Aubrey Rose better.
But maybe we can do like one of the things over like so it looks like rosé. How about Aubrey Rosé?
No, I like.
I bet this person did not anticipate a 10-minute long discussion on what their child's name should be, but here we are.
I love the name Rose. That's so pretty.
Yay,
What
monetization.
about Skylar Rose?
Although, just to
That is
clarify, I do watch these whenever I can on YouTube so that we're not giving any kind of monetization to Colleen.
not good. Skylar Grace is better. Aubrey Rose. They're both really good choices. I don't know. I don't think I can pick for you guys because
They're both good. Yeah,
I was pretty confident on Skylar Grace, and now I'm kind of leaning towards Aubrey Rose.
If it were us, what I would say is the advice that I would give is wait till you meet them.
Yeah.
Spend a
That's
day.
a good idea.
And then decide.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
decide before. Like,
Yeah, decide after the first 5 minutes of
No one's
life.
pressuring you until like they've been born for 3 days, and the nurse is like, "Hey,
Okay.
you really got to fill this out."
Yeah. So you
That's when the pressure comes.
decide when you meet them, or decide when they pressure you 4 days later, because that's what we did.
Every time.
Anyway, we're gonna say hi to our next sponsor.
And we're not.
Stitch Fix. Y'all know we love Stitch Fix and feel your bet.
It just says guy. It just intrigued me because you just said guy from Cruise,
guy from the cruise.
and I would like to say, yeah, guy from Cruise,
It says from the cruise.
I don't know what's going on, but whatever.
From the cruise.
guy from the Cruise. Okay.
Is that a movie?
I don't think so. I think what I would assume is that she was on a cruise, and there was a guy on there. You should relax.
Yeah,
And
I
I've never
agree.
been on a cruise, and I've never been guy on a cruise.
Guys
or
on
guy
cruise.
from the cruise. Sorry.
I too
anymore.
have never been on a cruise, and I get motion sick very easily, so I don't really ever want to go on a cruise. Also, I'm terrified of. Isn't there like the cruise cold or something? Like if one person gets sick, everyone gets sick, and people almost always get sick from cruises. Is what I hear. Yeah, I'm good on that. Thank you.
Or correct.
Yeah, but they definitely need to relax for sure.
Why? What are guys on cruises doing?
I don't know. Being guys on a cruise, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, Alexandra.
Yeah.
And
that guy needs to
and
relax.
guy, if you're listening from your cruise, like relax. Like people are just on a cruise. What are people doing on cruises?
They're trying to relax.
Yeah,
That's what they're trying to do.
exactly. And what? Is he creeping her out? You think?
I don't know. Now I'm so intrigued. Who said that? Wait, was it Alexandra?
I almost like want to reply like, "What do you do?"
Yes, you
like,
should.
Right.
Or like what?
Yeah, we got to get to the bottom of this. Do you want me to respond from my
Yeah,
account?
could you please?
Yeah, she did just say guy from the cruise. That's wild. What should I say to her? I need details.
What? Yeah, what happened? Like
I
we're
need
on
details.
your side. What happened?
That is
Like,
so much like how when Colleen did her, not her uke video, but then after, whenever it was when she was like, I was like the weird aunt that's like, ooh, give me all the tea. That's literally what she's doing right now. Like, I need details. Just the way she phrased it rather than like, could you clarify? Anyway.
I'm on your side, but I need details. What? Okay, I'm saying, okay, I'm on your side, but I need details. What happened? Okay, so the next person who said something that needs to relax actually was not something that needs to relax. Monica said, you should stalk Eric's Instagram for a segment.
Here we
So
go.
I did.
Okay.
So
Great.
I just want to talk to you about a few
Okay.
pictures I found.
Great.
So, you know what? The first one, I'm actually stoked that we're
I haven't
doing.
been on there since 2012. What's
Well,
it
what I
looking
love,
like?
I have to say that I went on there, and a lot of it's like pictures of you and me and our kids, and it was just so cute.
I think
to
it's
look at.
only pictures of you.
I just
and
really
our
liked
kids.
it.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the pictures.
So the way that he reacted to me seemed very at ease. Just like, there's nothing I'm going to regret, so let's talk about it. We'll see.
I only screenshotted 3 photos I wanted to talk about. One of them was of this mannequin. So it's so funny that we've been talking about it and now doing the hair of the mannequin.
The irony.
Because it's this was in 2014.
Jesus.
Now my question about this photo, it's a photo of Erik putting his arm around the mannequin in question. And he's looking cool. And he's wearing sunglasses inside because he wears his sunglasses at night. And he's wearing a Dodger hat. And this is my question to you.
Okay.
The caption makes no sense.
Please don't
Okay.
be creepy.
So I need you to explain it to me.
I can't wait to do this to you.
Oh, I can't wait for you. You're going to go to town on me. Okay, so it says, such Dodgers very baseball. Let's go! Exclamation point.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean? Such Dodgers very baseball? That's not a sentence.
I think it was that way on purpose. Like this is a time capsule of what was going on. The Dodgers were in the playoffs. So it was like they had a game that day. So it was like, let's go Dodgers win the playoff game. The mannequin.
No, wait, no, but you didn't. But you didn't say that. You said such Dodgers very
Wasn't
baseball.
there a thing where there was like a dog, like a breed of dog, where it was like such something, like it was like a
Yeah,
meat?
wasn't it like the loaf of bread dog, whatever that brand, whatever that genre of dog is? I vaguely know what he's talking about. My husband has mentioned it. It was meant to be like goofy lingo, kind of used towards something kind of goofy and funny. So he was just emulating that with his caption.
was like a dog.
Such something, very something.
I don't know.
Okay, so what does it mean?
You're asking me to like explain internet culture and memes, like as if like I know them.
No, I was not asking.
I wasn't even
asking you
like.
I was
If this
asking
is
you
your
to
like
explain your
focused
caption.
picture of outer space, right? And like what people are saying things that like are what they should be said on the internet. I'm in like when you like zoom out, I'm on the outside of that space.
No, I just didn't know what you meant by that because sometimes you like text very broken, like. And
Yeah,
so
no,
I didn't know.
it wasn't. I think it was
Sometimes
on
I read
purpose.
your text and I'm like, what is he saying? What did that mean? I'm very confused by this. And so
Really? Like what?
oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Sometimes you'll like caption something on.
You said text.
You'll text or caption something and it's like not.
What am I
full
captioning or
sentences.
texting you? That is your.
This is so funny that he's just now discovering. I don't know how long they've been married. I think it was a few years at this point. I don't know. But like, it's so funny that they have not had this conversation together. Like, if my husband was texting things that I didn't get, I would almost immediately have a conversation just like, hey, I'm not quite getting what you mean by this. Could we clarify? Like, when you say this, what does that mean? And yet here we are in front of the entire world being like, yeah, you text weird. And he's like, huh? Okay.
Time. You'll say things that like, or you'll be like, I'm emailing the pediatrician or something. And you'll be like saying, ha, all good. Yes. No need for it. Like you like will do like really short versions of sentences.
I've emailed our pediatrician.
I'm just
that?
saying.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying like examples. Of,
You're
like,
actually a liar at
no,
this
I'm
point.
not. You've many times been like, hey, can you read this email? And I'm like, these aren't sentences. And it's like, I think it's like some cool person version of speaking that I don't
Yeah.
understand. So I'm asking you what that means.
Definitely not. No, I think back then there was like a thing that was like such and very, and it had to do with like a dog
okay.
meme.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
and it was
that.
goofy.
So
I've
I
never
think
seen
I thought I was being clever, but then fast forward 8 years, it's my wife making fun of me for
Not
it.
making
Got
fun,
it,
just
yeah.
wanting to understand what it meant. Okay, here's another one. This is
That really hurt. You can tell that was a dig. And she may not have meant for it to be a dig, but you can tell he's just like, womp womp.
the photo of Erik dressed like a very
Yeah.
scary clown. I think he's wearing lots of eyeliner that goes down his mouth, like his mouth is bleeding, but black lines. And then his eyeballs have spiky blacks, needles going down and up. And then the caption is, what? You don't have to dress like this for your job interviews.
Nah.
And I
Yeah.
know this is for an audition.
I think that is
Oh, that's great.
one of very few examples you can find of me being very lame about
Oh,
an
I don't think
audition.
it's lame. I think it's
No,
cool.
I think it's
But
totally lame.
But my question was not
Super
about,
lame.
No. I don't think that was lame at all. My question was, what was the audition for?
There was an HBO show.
See the irony that she comes in potentially not trying to insult him, and then he gets hurt, and then she finds something else that he's like, yeah, that was really stupid. Maybe that was like him being like, I'm just going to deflect and just immediately say everything I did was stupid. I don't know. But like he comes in being like, yeah, that was lame. And she's like, no, it wasn't. Like they're just so not on the same wavelength.
Called Vinyl, and it was for the role of Alice Cooper, who is a very famous like action, because this is an action like based on real people.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real rock star and musician who did his makeup like that.
Does he
Have you
assume
seen,
she doesn't
Wayne's
know that?
World? Like he's in those movies, like
Alice Cooper,
playing
that's
himself.
a boy named Alice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he was, I guess, well known for like the makeup and whatever, and I had to do a self tape to play him in that
Oh,
HBO
cool.
show.
So that's what that was
I
for.
didn't get it,
Well, but you looked the part, that's for sure.
but the guy who did get it was in good trouble with me. So it's
Really?
funny, yeah,
Who?
he was one of the characters in that show.
Oh, that's neat.
Mhm.
Okay, one more. And you got some splaining to do.
Oh boy,
Boy.
here we go.
So
Not
this
sweating.
one is from 2012. And it's a picture of like a naked person on like strappy silks
He is getting
dangling
awkward.
from the sky. And I
What do I
can't
have
tell
to
if you,
explain
did
to
she
you?
wear pasties or did you cover up her nips?
I didn't cover up her nips. What am I explaining
She's wearing
to you?
heels, but she's naked, dangling in
You
the
want
sky.
me to explain to you like
And the
aerial like
caption-
acrobatic dancing?
The
Like,
caption is service dog, hashtag WTF happened last night. So now
Really?
I have
I
so
wrote
many
that?
questions.
I feel like I'm a contestant on this circle. That's what I find so funny about like the circle is that like
The hashtags?
the hashtags and everything they write is like, oh, that's what I was like fighting for. Like when I posted on Instagram when I first had. Can I see your phone?
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Because I'm guessing this is like one of my first ever
That's
Instagram.
a screenshot.
Oh, okay.
So my question is, why did you say
Do you need me to pause? I don't want to be like making it hard for you to get stuff. No. Okay.
service dog?
Because there was a Hollywood club. You can see all the people holding up sparklers.
Mhm.
And if you've been to a club where you get bottle service, they like it's essentially those like there's a TikTok thing I feel like right now where it's like tell me a scam that's like a
Yeah,
scam that we all do, and bottle service is certainly one of them because they charge you a 800% markup on a really bad bottle of like Sky vodka or something, but to have a woman bring it to you with sparklers going on around and pasties on or I don't know, something like I don't think that's a normal thing, but in this
But why service dog?
See, I can see where she's like And this, I mean, I'm still kind of getting over tendrils of my past, but like any indication, I think sometimes to certain women who have certain fears that maybe there's a side to the person that they're with that's really dark and ugly and scary that they haven't seen yet, it can be terrifying. And I've had to deal with that myself, which they're completely unfounded fears. My husband is the most wonderful man in the world. But there have been moments where like little things that meant nothing, my brain just like multiplied it by 1,000, was like, what does this mean? What could this mean? Because sorry, that was very violent. Because it's a self-protective thing where it's like, I don't ever want to make the mistakes I made before. I don't ever want to feel hurt the same way that I had been before. So let me try to find anything and everything that might mean something really big and dark so that if I'm right, I can run before it hurts me like I was before. That's probably where she's coming from in a way with this, where she's like, but why service dog? Because she probably is like, do you deep down inside view these women as dogs? Which I get chills just thinking about that, because there are men out there like that. Do I think Eric's like that? Likely not. But that's probably why she keeps hounding on this, which I would too, frankly.
Well, I think like this is implying like, well, this is good service dog, and dog is like how you would refer to like. No, I'm not calling her a dog. I'm just saying
Service
You
dog.
never
So wait,
said,
so she's
"What's
the
up, dog?"
service dog?
Yeah. No, she's not the service dog. I
then
guess
who's the service
maybe that's
dog?
the pun I did then. Now, like reaching back into my brain, I don't really know.
He seems very uncomfortable, to be honest. I'm just going to be honest, and I don't mean to rag on Erik here, but his body language, it could just be an awkward conversation, but his body language does not say to me that we should fully trust what he's saying. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I think he views women as dogs, but his body language is not one of, I'm comfortable with what I'm saying. This is probably what I meant, whatever. He seems very much like, ooh, I can't really tell her that this is what I meant. Now, if it was good service DAWG, I would, again, I mean, whatever was going on there, I fully disagree with this terrible situation. But, you know, if it was the DAWG, then I would understand it was more of like a conversation. But if it's service dog DOG, that's freaky. I will admit, and I can see why he's getting a little twitchy.
So she was the service dog.
I guess she's the service dog, because I was like, service dog. Oh, this is clever. Like, what if I just say service dog?
Okay.
Because the bottle service in this Hollywood
So you got
nightclub,
bottle service at a nightclub.
I don't think it was even. It doesn't look like it was me. I seemed pretty far away, so I didn't think I could afford it.
But you went to a club. It's so funny to me because I can't imagine you at a club even.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine me there either. I mean, I can imagine me
I think she's pretty insecure
15
about
years
this.
ago, not 15, 10 years ago, having just moved out here, and then you go out with friends, and then
Yeah.
you just end up there. Like,
Right.
I certainly can't imagine me now.
She's like,
No,
right, sure.
I'd rather
Well.
die. That's funny though. Like, WTF happened last night.
Like
it's
you got
really,
so schmasted.
like, it's really
Schmasted.
embarrassing. Like, well, what? Nothing happened. Like, you saw someone else get a bottle of like $20 vodka delivered to them for $3,000 from a woman in a harness and pasties. Like, that's what happened. Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Wow.
Look
Those are
at
the only
him.
ones that-
He's really trying to vouch for himself. He's like, it's obvious. Nothing happened. You don't need to be worried that I decided to do stuff with a woman who wasn't wearing anything. Like, don't get on me, Colleen. It's obvious what happened. And she's just sitting there, like, not even looking at him, like, Yeah, she's not happy with this. And he's embarrassed that she found it.
I had screenshotted that I wanted to know about. Because yours is actually pretty, your Instagram, first of all, you never post anything on social media, but when you do this to me, it's going to be an entire episode of you making fun of me because of how cringy my posts
here's what
are.
I'm nervous for you about, is that you're like, oh, I'll look back through his Instagrams, which there's like 7 of, and I'll exploit them and wait till you see
Oh, baby's
what
crying.
I can do.
Babies are crying. We got to take a pause. All is well. Wesley is back asleep. And yes, you will destroy me if you stalk anything of mine on the internet because I am only cringy.
That's
So-
something to look forward to, is me, your husband, going back through your Instagram.
Making fun of me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, please go to town.
But there's
I'm sure
cringy
there's
and
enough.
there's inappropriate. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he does or does not find. Now, I know that she had really inappropriate humor and offensive humor, and obviously took offensive actions against younger kids. But in terms of like, oh, you went to a nightclub and a half-naked person gave you alcohol, like, I doubt she was that kind of person. It's probably, at least in their minds, a different kind of cringy. And this is where it really does, and there's more of their video to watch. I to this day, I don't know how much Colleen actually understands of what she did, because she has such childish mannerisms and a lot of the things that she's even doing now and what we're seeing from before everything blew up in her face. there is a part of me that really thinks that she does not, kind of similar to Eugenia Cooney. I think there's a part of their brain that's very stunted, and they really don't comprehend from an adult lens just how damaging their actions are. So they look at their actions through a very childlike lens and just sit there like, I don't get it. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world, guys. So yeah, I wouldn't expect her to have overtly adult things like a nightclub like Erik did.
What can you don't put a lot of stuff out there, so I might finally find something.
Oh, you'll find
make fun of you
tons
for.
of nasty, obnoxious, cringy stuff. I'm very confident. Anyway, did you want to read more from? I have tons from our listeners.
I feel like I'm not even gonna get to like mine.
Do you want to go to we can do your stuff?
No, I'll keep going with hers.
Okay.
Annalise. Hi, Annalise.
Hi, Annalise.
The separation in peanut butter.
I was going to do this one. I screenshotted it. I have a big issue with this. I have a big issue.
What's your issue?
Okay, listen. People judge me so freaking hard for liking Jiffy or whatever, that kind of the crappy peanut butter, the like cheap.
It's called Jiffy.
It is Jiffy?
Sure.
Is it Jif? I was thinking of Jiffy Pop. Anyway.
I wonder if they're the same company.
I don't think so. But anyway, I like the cheap.
Jiffy and Jiffy?
What's the other big?
Jiffy and Jif, or you think they're separate?
I don't know. What's the other big peanut butter company?
Peter Pan.
There's like two main ones.
I feel stumped.
Do you know what I'm talking about? What? You feel stumped?
Peter Pan? I don't know. Who's big peanut butter?
My peanut butter brand used to be called Crema, Krema, and then they rebranded to, I don't even care to remember what. It's just like this, I get the creamy, and it's like this kind of aqua blue label. So if you see peanut butter with like an aqua blue on it, that's mine. That's what I grew up having ever since ever. It's natural. It does have the annoying oil separation, but I think it's the best tasting one. So if anyone needs a peanut butter recommendation, there you go.
There's another
Jif.
one. There's Jif, and there's one more that makes
Name
like
it.
the.
Tell me.
I don't remember it.
Probably Skippy or peanut
I feel like that's the
Do you know what I'm
dumbest.
talking about?
I feel like it's the
Isn't there another
dumbest
one?
question I've ever been asked. Like,
Isn't there
if you were on
another
a
big
first date and someone was like, "Who are the big peanut butter brands?" Like, you'd be like, "I'm leaving."
No,
But,
wait.
like,
Isn't there another one that's like big?
I don't even know what to Google. Like, who's big peanut butter?
Google peanut butter.
I hate us. I hate this is what we're doing right now.
I love it.
Skippy.
Skippy.
Talking about
That's why I
Skippy?
said Jiffy, because I knew of the E, the Y.
Big corporate Skippy.
I know
Skippy
my
and
peanut
Jif.
butters.
So anyway,
I love peanut
people make
butter
fun
too
of
much.
me for liking those. Like I only will eat those. First of all, they taste the best, so get off of my back. But second of all, when people are like, you gotta eat the natural, the all natural organic sassy fat. No, because that peanut butter is not peanut butter. It is goopy oil on top of peanut butter.
This is a natural
And
separation.
listen,
It's a natural separation.
You mix it in, that's the whole point. Now, I mean, I think it really depends on what you were raised on. If you're used to more of a sweet, easy to just eat in general type peanut butter, then it makes sense to me. But I was raised on natural peanut butter. We never had anything other than what you had to mix in together, and you usually had to have something like jelly or honey with it to make it palatable. Otherwise, it just sticks to your mouth. But that's all I ever knew, so that's my favorite. So, Colleen, get off my back with my natural peanut butter, okay?
Separation.
But how do you stir this? There's not enough room in the peanut butter jar to stir it.
there's not enough room to stir
So
it.
when you
That's
stir it, it
true.
gets everywhere.
What are you
It's messy. Sometimes I will literally stick it in the sink to stir it.
stirring with? And I want to know
knife.
this. A knife, right?
Yeah.
And then the oil comes up the handle. So then inevitably, at least the first two knuckles are just all peanut butter oil as you're
It's
trying to
the
stir
worst.
it. What do you think's the number one peanut butter company?
Is it Jif?
Probably.
It is Jif.
Hey.
Spell Jif.
JIF.
Good job. What's number two?
Probably the other one, Skippy.
I can't believe we're talking about peanut butter.
Peter
So
Pan
much.
is an actual peanut butter brand. I
Is
didn't know
it?
that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Anyway, yeah, I have a big issue with this, so I definitely had screenshotted that one as well. Lovey, we are on the same page with that. Did you have something more you wanted to say about it, or just
Well, how do you
jumped
feel
in?
about the schmuckers people?
So they don't agree with each other on how intelligent each other is. They don't agree on lifestyle choices with each other or anything crucial, but they do agree on peanut butter. So there's something.
Schmuckers?
Yeah.
Oh, like people who do like peanut butter and jelly at the same
yeah,
time?
at the same time.
I mean, it's innovative. It never worked for me. I always felt like the ratio was off because everyone
Yeah.
likes a different peanut butter jelly ratio.
I think if you're on a date with someone, you go back to their place and they have a Schmucker's combo jelly peanut butter jar, like run. Like, run away. I think that would be certifiably a sociopathic characteristic.
To me, it's the same
Sure.
as like a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. It's like, really? You know, but it's not like a run situation. It's like 2-in-1 shampoo conditioners don't work. And neither does the peanut butter jelly combo. It doesn't
I'm going
work.
to say two words to you. Smart balance.
Isn't that just a fake butter? Anyway, I will say, as much as I love peanut butter, I've had like peanut butter jelly smoothies before, or I think I may have even had a peanut butter jelly alcoholic beverage. And I actually don't like peanut butter jelly flavored things. I don't mind peanut butter and jelly. I prefer peanut butter and honey usually, I think. I don't know. It depends on what kind of jelly it is. I love peanut butter and strawberry jelly, but it has to be the actual things in a sandwich. If it's flavored like that, there's something about it I just don't like. It's the weirdest thing.
I don't know what you're talking
You don't know that company?
Is that a bar?
Smart Balance is like a company that's like, we're organic, we're smart, we're balanced.
Okay. Don't they make like protein bars? Or
Sure,
something?
I would believe that
Do they make peanut butter?
They do, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I don't think I've ever
What
had
about that?
Smart Balance peanut butter.
I would say run away from those Smart Balance people too, because it's just like it's like a peanut butter cream.
But you like the organic gross peanut butter, the natural ones.
I do, yeah. There's a couple that I like, but I would recognize that like you have to stir them, and I would keep them in the fridge so that they're more concentrated. You know what I mean? They make it more like
Yeah, that's
whatever.
important.
Like, it's a
Otherwise,
lot.
it's just liquid.
Yeah, I don't like the separation of peanut butter either. Trust, not good. Two things I don't like. There's only one kind of separation I like.
Can we
That's the
please
separation
stop
of
talking
church
about
and
peanut
state,
butter?
my folks, my friends. Let's get that back in our country.
Good.
I was really
I like
bad.
the way you fit that in there so naturally.
You know what? I just
kind of like natural peanut butter. Our next sponsor.
It's not our next sponsor, but we should say thank you to our next sponsor, actually. So we're going to go do that. We'll be right back.
We're gonna
Colleen
skip over
Ballinger.
it. Thank
Try
you.
So I don't want to do Eat Isn't Doing Packed.
Oh, never unpacked.
For someone who's on tour with their incredible, I can't say this enough, incredible one-woman comedy show. It's great. And you
Sorry, that was
tour
loud.
around the world, especially.
Does he mean it? Does he mean that he actually thinks it's incredible, or was that complete sarcasm? I can't tell. And he might be intentionally leaving it a little bit vague. I don't know.
in North America, at least these days.
Mhm.
You have to pack for this
Yep.
tour.
Mhm.
Can you name a time in your life that you've ever unpacked?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
When I have to pack.
What do you mean?
I unpack when I need to pack.
To repack. And
That's
I know
when I
that
That's when you unpack?
Yeah.
she did recently, like whenever she went to Paris, she said that she still didn't unpack her bag for like weeks after that. So apparently this is an ongoing character flaw that has not been remedied.
So we're talking, what's in there when you unpack
Dirty clothes.
to pack? Dirty clothes. Expired granola bars, perhaps.
No, I eat all my granola bars usually, but
Those
yeah,
last
it's
forever.
dirty clothes. So when I pack, I find all these clothes that have been missing.
Boarding passes.
I usually throw those away at the airport, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I find just mostly dirty clothes and maybe like diary, which you don't think that I take on tours with me.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I think that's it. Just dirty clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear diary, they still love me. The end. Dear diary, they now hate me. The end.
So if I were to walk out into our living room
Yeah.
and find at least 7 certainly unpacked bags of baggage,
Well, the majority of them
What
are.
are we- what's gonna be in there?
First of all, that's not fair because the
could
unpacked.
we? Should we just
No,
unpack
stop.
one now?
Wait, time out. That's not fair because
I didn't know we were like Zach Morris time outing during. Okay.
well, it's unfair because you're saying there's 7
He
unpacked
did not like that.
suitcases. Yeah, because they're the show suitcases. We don't unpack them because they have my show stuff in them.
Right.
I'm about to go again.
And so where they go naturally is just right in the middle of the living room. Just
They're not in the middle of the
half-
living room.
Okay.
They're in the dining room. And
That was a good comeback. I do enjoy it with people's humor when they make it sound like they're going to try to defend themselves and then they just make themselves look even dumber. I mean, like in a playful way, not like a really negative way. I do think that's really funny. So that was a good comeback that she had. He didn't expect that, so that was cute. But where are they going to go with it?
my personal suitcase is in there,
Uh huh.
and
Was it unpacked?
it is definitely not unpacked.
It's a hard thing to do for me too. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no shame in this. I don't like to unpack. It's
You don't seem shamed at all.
no, I'm not.
You seem like fairly confident in the fact that like.
Yeah, I don't unpack. I don't like to waste my
Right.
time. I don't have a lot of time. I have no free time actually.
How do you feel about packing?
I think he would like her to feel a little bit of shame. I think he's trying to shame her into it, and she's like, "Yeah, no, it's not working. Thank you, thank you."
I would say I don't. I mean, obviously, I hate packing. It's really
Uh-huh.
annoying and tedious. But I feel like I'm also really, really terrible at it when it comes to me. I'm really good at it when it comes to our kids.
Right.
Like I actually, it's not that I enjoy it. I just like, it's like I'm confident in my packing abilities for our
You
children.
are extremely good at packing for our children.
But
I actually do believe that. There was a video, maybe it was this when she was going to Paris, and she had like folded and piled and labeled, I believe, the twins' clothing for like all throughout the week, if I remember correctly. And I was thinking I would never have that level of organization ever, even if I tried. So I would believe that like in her own stuff, she's like messy as all get out, but like in anything that's important to her, that it go a certain way and like be smooth, I could see be very, very, very nitpicky detailed. And really, like, I'll have this conversation with my husband sometimes. I don't enjoy the Kardashians. No offense to them. Sorry, just they're not really my cup of tea. But I don't think anyone can, maybe some of them, but I don't think most people could get to that level of fame and popularity without having some level of business sense. Am I saying that they're the most intelligent people in the world? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But, you know, people like to say, oh, they just got to where they are because of like daddy's money or whatever, or their looks or whatever it was. And I get that, but I really do believe there is a level of business savvy that each of them has. And I would not be surprised if Colleen were the same, where like maybe in her own life, she's really messy and really just awful in a lot of ways. But when it came to making sure that her business life succeeded, she was probably very skilled and savvy. I would guess. Could be wrong, but I could see that.
For me personally, I hate packing and I'm not good at it. I always forget a million things.
But so for every suitcase that you have packed, would you say that it is at the same time
I
unpacking
feel like
from whatever
every
the trip?
single time I make a video, it's thundering outside. I swear we do have days where we don't have thunder.
Previous was
Almost always. I'd say 85%
always,
of the
right?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say for me too.
Yeah, I hate unpacking. It's not something I ever would choose to do with my time. I'd rather have my clothes just sit in there dirty forever.
That's
I'm
disgusting.
still hung up on that guy from the cruise. Like, what's that? What,
Should we check and see if we got an
what was
update?
that guy doing on the cruise?
Okay, let's see if we got an update from Alexandra or Alexandra. Sorry if I'm
Thanks.
pronouncing it incorrectly.
Thank you.
No update. No update, guys.
She's sleeping.
No update at all on this one.
She itches her.
So
I'm
we'll never
sure
know.
I itch my nose weirdly.
Unfortunately, it'll have to be
She always
next
does
week that I respond.
this stuff.
You already responded, but did she respond?
No, it's until she responds. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit asleep.
Me too.
Yeah, okay. More people are responding. Do you want me to do one?
I mean, you're allowed to legally.
Or did you want to talk about things that you think need to relax?
There's something that I'm struggling with.
Okay.
I feel like this is a good topic for conversation now, since you're very intensely,
We're getting
for the
deep.
listener, has not stopped, hasn't looked
You
up at me
told me to.
one time,
You
has
told
just
me
been
to do
doing the
this.
hair of this
I'm trying
gross,
to finish it before the episode ends.
horrific mannequin head, has just been doing the hair to it this whole time, hasn't even looked at me.
I mean, to be fair, y'all both have kind of been spending a vast majority of the time insulting each other. So what better way to not have to make eye contact with the person that you are actively insulting and being insulted by than to just look down and braid a mannequin's head of hair?
But I'm having a hard time, and maybe the listeners can help me. You know what? I would like your help, because I as far as music goes for me, growing up, I liked like punk, skate rock, like ska, like stuff like that,
Skate
classic rock. And now I have a child, and he likes primarily female pop songs,
Interesting.
and he wants to
can
hear
see
them,
that.
and he can only say "dada" louder. You know, and I don't know what, because it went from truck songs really quickly to female pop.
He's got good taste.
And I don't know what to play from, because,
What do you mean?
well, I mean, what do I? Because I never listened to that music, so I don't.
Miley
So
Cyrus?
I'm
Does he
aware
love
that
Miley
like
Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus exists. I'm aware that Katy Perry exists. I'm aware that Selena Gomez is a person.
Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry. That's both, I mean, this came out a few years ago, I think. And like, they both have recently released music, I think, but I also kind of feel like they're both two artists that have a bit faded to the background. Can anyone correct me on that? I know Miley did just win her first Grammy, right? Is that how that went? So I know she's not completely out of the picture. And then Katy Perry released that random music video recently. But I do feel like they're less popular now, right? Maybe? I don't know. Not saying less talented, just less popular, maybe. But of course, Taylor Swift is just ensuring that she stays number one at all times. But that's a separate. Oh, that lady.
I'm aware that Demi Lovato is a person, but I don't know any.
Yeah, has she come out
for
with
the
anything?
life of me, name off the top of my head a single song that any one of them has written. But that's what Flynn's into right now.
Yeah.
And he just like they are bangers, and he's
Dang,
like,
well, he's not
and
wrong.
He's like, let's listen, and I want more, and I don't know how to like expand the library for
I
our
can
dance
help you with
parties.
that.
Thank you. And maybe the listener can also, but it is really funny because Flynn is a very smart guy and he loves
believe
music and he's grown up to this point listening to truck tunes.
Yes.
Where he's
What is
listening
that?
to these very detailed songs
Truck
about the
tunes.
mechanic interworkings of trucks, where the lyrics are like this is how this truck works.
There's hydraulics that do this,
hydraulics and tires and wheels and buckets, and this is how this truck works. And he
thank
likes
you.
to sing along. He's detail oriented and he loves lyrics. And so now he's into female pop music from the 2000s.
Okay,
And so I play
that
I
makes
play them
sense.
for him because that's what he wants to listen to. And he also has like this kind of questionable sense of humor where he's like, "Daddy, can you believe that?" Like, and he's like, "What is this?" You know, we ask questions. I think that's what I meant by questionable. Like he finds it funny, and then also he wants answers.
Yes.
And so when he's listening to Katy Perry's, for example, tonight, Katy Perry's TGIF.
Was this while I was bathing?
Bathing
Bathing the baby.
You were bathing the twins. Me and Flynn were downstairs. We're listening to Katy Perry because he loved the song
I heard that in a long
Roar.
time.
Yes.
Because it's a song about animals to him and lions, and they're roaring. And he was very curious. He's like, "Dad, she said they walk through the fire." They walk through the fire, and he thought that was hilarious. They're like, "We're gonna walk." Is that a lyric in that song?
On TGI, right? In TGI.
No, in Roar.
I'm curious if they were selective in what they let him listen to, or if they just let him listen to whatever. I grew up very conservatively, as I've said, so I wasn't allowed to listen to really much of anything other than Christian music for a while. And then eventually I got to an age where I got to choose what I wanted to listen to. And so I did venture out for a while listening to a lot of other stuff. And now I'm aware of some of the stuff going on, but also I've ironically ventured back into listening to a lot more Christian stuff, but not only Christian stuff. But I will say, like, if I ever did have kids, I don't know that I would ever go the extreme route that my parents, whom I adore, I'm not sure that I'd go quite as extreme as they did with us growing up, and not let my kids get exposed to some of the stuff that's out there. But I also am really disappointed with the level of just the thematic elements that are in so many songs that could easily go over a kid's head that are actually really adult and a lot of times really immature or immature, but inappropriate. So I think it'd be a little challenging to try to be open to letting my kid have kind of a wide variety of music that they are allowed to listen to, while also making sure that we're keeping conversations happening where it's like, okay, this is not okay. And really, I mean, I don't think I would be okay with letting a little kid really listen to most of the pop music that's out there anymore, because I wouldn't want them to start learning words that they couldn't even conceptualize if they tried to. I think it'd almost be like I'd really try to be more selective with the music that they listened to when they were really, really young. And then as they got older, I might start allowing some other music in. But depending on the age that they were, I would try to have very intentional conversations with, okay, I'm not going to explain all the nuts and bolts of this to you until you're older, but you do need to know that this is what this is about. This is what this person's thinking. That's not a good way to think. This is a better way to think. This is why I like this song, because this is, wiser, and this is the way I want you to think about things. This is why I don't like this song very much, because I don't want you to think like that, Maybe I'd kind of like graduate them onto more and more concepts, but I mean, parents that just let their kids listen to whatever anymore, especially, it's like they're going to be getting all kinds of themes in the deep recesses of their brains that I don't even think parents think about half the time. Because like for me, songs that I listened to even when I was like an early teen, when I was trying to delve into this music more, now that I listen to it as like a full-grown adult who's married and whatnot, sometimes I'm like, oh, that didn't even dawn on me. Like Break Your Heart by, I don't know, I think it was an R&B song. I hadn't listened to that in so long, and I just listened to it the other day, and I was like, what a sleazebag. He's literally telling the girl, hey, I'll go out with you, but just so you know, I'm going to break your heart in the end. I have no interest in a committed relationship with you. I'm going to break your heart. So if you want to hang out with me for the night, that's fine. Let's do it. But I'm going to break your heart. And I just listened to that song. Like I knew what he was singing about, but it just didn't register. And now that I'm older and wiser, listening to it again, I was like, you're terrible. You're a terrible human being.
I think in Roar, they walk through fire. And so he's just like, this is so hilarious. Like, what a good songwriter this is what he's telling me. Then then it auto plays on Spotify into Katy Perry's TGIF.
Okay.
And the first lyric of the song is, woke up with a stranger in my bed.
Yeah.
And he goes, Dada, stranger in my bed? Am I right? what's this stranger doing in my bed? And I was just
There's
like,
a stranger in my bed. Okay, now I know
yeah.
something.
And I'm
Okay.
like, and I was just like, I didn't know how to respond.
Mhm.
I'd be like I didn't know how to be like, yeah, you know, Friday nights, dude. You're just waking up with strangers in your bed. Like I did.
Yeah, because it's like if he's too young to even conceptualize sex, then he's too young to understand. Sometimes people have sex with people they don't even know. Like, and so like at what age do you start letting your kid listen to things that it's like they don't have the brain space to understand even the basics of what's going on in this song. But
Didn't know how to, but that's what he's listening to. Like
Yes.
he's not listening to like what's a toddler nursery rhyme?
Daddy finger?
He's not listening to Daddy Finger.
Oh, that sounds
Daddy,
worse.
that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, the other night we were listening to something, probably Lizzo or something. Maybe it was who? Now it's gonna drive me insane. Weird. Oh, Megan.
The Stallion?
Trainer.
Trainer. My brain wanted to say Megan Hilty.
I'm very familiar with like female pop
Megan
stars.
Trainer.
Yeah.
We were listening to Megan Trainer, and there was some song where she said the SHIT word. And Flynn, unlike most toddlers, I guess, or maybe this is how all toddlers are. You guys are. He's not a toddler. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to offend or upset. They get real mad when we say he's a toddler. Not a toddler. Our 3-year-old. I apologize.
Oh.
I understand.
Yeah.
He's not a toddler anymore.
Our
Don't
voting
go-
age
Anyway, our
Child.
kid, our 3-year-old kid.
or kid.
That's
I guess
funny.
that maybe not all 3-year-olds
does
are like
toddler
this,
end?
but our 3-year-old really, really, like Erik said, really listens to the lyrics. Like the first time you show him a song, he won't dance.
He just
won't
stands
smile.
there.
He stands there and stares into the abyss and listens to
every
every word
lyric,
and soaks
yeah.
it all up. So anyway, we were listening to a Megan Trainor song, and she said,
Probably the sign of a really smart kid. Also, probably the sign of a kid that you need to be very careful what he's listening to, because if he is listening that intently, he's internalizing. That could be really bad.
SHIT. And he goes, Mama, she said shit. And I was like, yeah, that's a bad word. And he goes, yeah, it's a bad word. And I was like, yeah.
God, they told him that.
So he does listen to every single word. So a lot of these songs sometimes have bad words, and that's sometimes an issue. But he does.
That's why you don't let them listen to just anything.
These powerful, strong, incredible pop females sing.
I think
music.
you,
Mm-hmm.
Colleen Ballinger, if I'm saying that right, got 2 timeouts today for saying.
I got one. I only got one.
Okay.
I did get a timeout for saying that.
Who gives her
Why
time
did
out?
you say today?
For no reason, because you and I have potty mouths, and we just say like, "Oh, I'm going to the store." You know, like we don't say it. We have.
Daddy, mommy
I
said.
just realized I've said that Colleen has a potty mouth so many times in potty humor, and she finally admitted it retroactively years ago. But she admitted to it. That makes me so happy. Oh, I'm so proud.
So
well-
mommy needs a timeout.
Well, we have gotten a lot better at not cussing around the kids.
Yeah.
We have
We're-
gotten
we're,
way better.
like,
But every once in a
exception,
while,
yeah.
when we think they're not paying attention, which is dumb because they're always paying
Yes.
attention. But it's not like if I'm
Yes.
talking to Flynn, I say the F word. It's like I'm talking to Erik, and Flynn is like playing on the other side of the house or like in the front yard, and we're on the other side of the yard. Like that's, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I went to the, you know, like just saying like how you go like, oh, easy, something, you know.
Oh, can you?
But for her to say they're always paying attention, I don't know enough about her career to know how much of her performances were planned, prepped, scripted, practiced, rehearsed, all of that. And if that was the case, how much of that would have happened openly at home versus like in the theater she was performing in or meetings or whatever? But it's like, if you're openly admitting that you know that your kids always watch and always listen and absorb everything, even if they don't act like it, even if you kind of like to act like your kids are dumb sometimes, Colleen, if she was performing and practicing her very adult-themed shows at home, that's just unnerving to me. I mean, unless they were like verifiably asleep in bed, that's really worrisome, because she herself even said in trying to defend herself and saying that she wasn't doing all these things wrong, she's like, my shows were for kids that were 13 and up. Well, guess what? Are any of your kids 13 and up? No. So if you were openly practicing any of that stuff around them, you just opened their minds up to humor that you yourself have intended to not just be kid-friendly.
Believe it,
And
Daisy.
he hears it. And so today he did call me out. He's like, oh, but he didn't say to me. He said to you. He goes, Daddy, Mommy needs a timeout. She said a bad word.
I didn't even realize that you had said it.
I hadn't either.
But like
I
when
wouldn't have-
Flynn said it to me, oh man, I was so stoked to send you on a time. There's nothing I like more than sending you.
So then I
on a
apologize to
timeout
Flynn.
for saying a bad word.
Yeah, I apologize to Flynn. I wouldn't send
I bet
her.
there's nothing that he likes more than just sending Colleen to timeout, period, because it means he doesn't have to be around her for a brief period of time. And also he can just stand there like, you're in timeout and I'm not. I wonder if he ever goes to timeout or if it's just a Colleen thing. Colleen.
But yeah, I apologized and asked him to forgive me. He said he would. And then he said, you need to go to a timeout because you said f***ing. So I did. I went to a timeout.
So now he knows the word too.
Anyway.
Is there more podcasts or are we done?
When are we done?
I'm confused because I could say more things. I have like many more things to talk about.
We can keep talking. I
Okay.
mean, if you
No,
want to.
we don't need to.
This really,
Oh, maybe we can't.
we can't.
Because there's a baby crying. All right, I'm back. Wesley's back asleep. Maisie's back asleep. Our babies wake up a lot, guys. And I think, though, that was a nice little wake-up call from them. Literal wake-up call to be like, guys, this podcast long enough. Shut
Yeah,
it down.
I would agree.
You know?
Thank you.
has it been though?
Yes.
I don't know. Did you have more you needed to say?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah, I
what?
had a question for you.
Oh, no, I'm scared. What is it? I'm nervous.
I'm going to ask you to say a word.
Oh, no, I'm going to say it wrong. What is it?
Can you say just the first part of that?
Oh, sandwich.
Say it again.
Sandwich. You're mad because
Now
the
you
other day
said it.
I said, because Eric said, I'm making myself a sandwich with an M. And I said, did you say sandwich?
Sandwich.
Yeah,
And he
that's fine.
said, yeah, sandwich. And I was like, no, it's sandwich. Like with an N.
Peanut butter sandwich. Sandwich. I think I don't even say the D. I think it's SANWICH. Sandwich. Sandwich. I'm going to make a sandwich. Yeah, I don't really say the D, but I don't say sandwich. SAM.
I'm sure to the
Uh-huh.
listener it sounds the same if you say sandwich or sandwich.
I'm not talking about the M or the N. I'm talking about the D.
I don't say the D,
I'm talking about the D.
Nope.
but there's
You're
no
right.
M in the word sandwich.
Sandwich.
There's no M.
Sandwich.
Sand.
I think a lot of people say sandwich. I guess people say Sammy. I'm making a Sammy,
Sure. Of course
but
they
it's a
do.
sand.
That's
But
true.
but do you hit the D?
No, I do
in
not.
the
Sandwich.
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 No, no.
Sandwich. Sandwich.
You say Sam with an M.
Right. Yeah. What am I going to say? Sam with an N?
Yeah, you say, but you
Samnich?
just now didn't say it with an N ever. It's
So
not.
what blows my mind is before Colleen's scandal, they were getting a very solid amount of views on this podcast, which means people were voluntarily, willingly listening to them discussing all the brands of peanut butter, how to say sandwich properly. I don't even know what to say to that. We're just going to leave it off of that.
Samnich.
But
It's-
I'm more talking.
Wait, how do you think it's spelled? Because there's no M at all.
But
And
I'm
even
more,
when I
I'm
just
more
said to say with
talking
an
about.
N.
I'm more talking about the D.
Yeah, I don't say it. I say sandwich.
The D
Do you say
is
it? You just say
fire.
sandwich.
Spell sandwich.
SANDWICH.
Nice. Look at you.
Yeah, why? How else would it be spelled? With an M?
You're a genius.
Yeah, so why did you want to bring that up?
Just because we were talking about how people don't talk the D in sandwich. Don't say them.
Yeah, people say it sometimes, I guess. People, I was getting made fun of in Canada.
You were getting made fun of? You?
Every day of my life.
No way.
Well, if we're going to go down this random rabbit trail, I have always thought it was hilarious that no one that I'm aware of says mayonnaise. It's always mayonnaise. But really, it probably should be mayonnaise.
Everyone else, that's all
There's
anyone
no
does.
way anyone would ever make fun
Well, I was
of you.
getting made fun of because I said there's a place called Granville Island. And they're like, you say that weird. It's Granville. It's Granville Island. And I was like, Granville Island. So I was getting made fun of for that. But then they asked me, say Toronto, say the other big city. Can you say it?
Toronto.
Yeah, see, they don't pronounce the T. But I didn't say it. I said Toronto. Toronto.
Sandwich.
But you say Toronto.
Toronto.
I think that's the same thing as saying
Toronto.
sandwich.
I'm not going to say Toronto.
That's what I say. That's what most people say, I think.
Toronto.
But they were trying to make fun of me for saying Toronto.
I'm going to hit the T
and I
in
didn't say
Toronto, but I'm not going to hit the D in
Guys, I'm
sandwich.
becoming
sandwich.
one
What
of their
about
devoted.
in-
I'm becoming one of their devoted viewers. I actually am like saying it along with them and trying to figure out how would I pronounce these random words that no one cares how I pronounce. You know what? I've just answered my own question as to how they have so many viewers. They just rope you right in. You don't even know what you're doing, and all of a sudden you're like, is it sandwich or sandwich? Do I say Toronto or Toronto? These are such important questions. Help me. Somebody help me.
Spouter space. Do you pronounce the SP in the spouter space?
Spouter space? No.
No.
And then the last thing
Okay.
is that we were talking about envelopes. And that some people,
Oh, yeah.
still to this day, this was going to be my relax this
yeah.
week, lick envelopes.
I mean,
if I
I
have
lick
to.
envelopes sometimes. Wait, what? What do you mean? How do you close it?
With like a wet sponge. What do you mean?
Who just has a wet sponge lying around?
I guess
Precisely.
sometimes you have to lick it.
I don't like
Yeah.
lick it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here Eric has an envelope out with this is lovey, so clearly I wrote him a card in this.
But you never sealed it with a kiss.
I probably did. But I would just go like this. Like, you ready for it? It's gonna happen. Like a tap. A
Close
tap
it
of
now.
tongue. And then I would just well,
Do
this
it.
is an old one. So
No, you gotta
I've
really-
already been pre-licked.
you gotta
I'm not
really
gonna
get in
keep
there.
licking, but I just kind of do like a quick tap. And I don't like licky,
We will-
licky.
What about
Because
if
then
we
it
just-
wouldn't.
We just
That's
fold
the annoying.
It. We just fold it under.
I can't believe I'm actually discussing this with them. But that's the annoying part of envelopes is that and is it envelope or envelope? Let's have another hour-long discussion on that, shall we? If you lick it too much, then it becomes overly wet and then it won't stick at all. If you don't lick it enough, then it becomes underly wet and it won't stick. So that's envelopes are obnoxious. I really like the ones that have like the peel off pre-sticky flap down and you're done. Those are great.
underneath.
Well, I'd be afraid of paper cuts with that. Like, I don't like paper cuts, so I'd rather just do a quick lick. Do you remember that news story? Oh my gosh, my brain just exploded. I was so scared of licking envelopes for a while.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing a news story where someone got a paper cut while licking. Wait, do you remember? Wait, you have to listen to this. Do you remember this?
Being forced.
Well, because you wanted to just talk over me, but I wanted you to hear this.
Wasn't even saying anything, so I don't know how. I would
Do you remember
talk over
this
you.
news story where someone was licking an
He's
envelope?
like, I didn't say a single word. She's projecting. She's like, you were trying to talk all over me and shut me up. And he's like, nope, that's you. That's just you every single day.
And they got a paper cut, and then like a cockroach egg got inside of the paper cut, and a cockroach or something grew inside their tongue. I'm pretty sure this is a real thing that happened.
That can't
once.
be true.
Did you ever hear this?
That can't be true.
I think it happened, and I've been scared.
Now, if we're talking about bot flies, which if you've never heard of a bot fly, I kind of recommend that you don't look into it, but also do. It's the most disgusting part of nature I've ever heard of. It gives me the chills. The closest thing I can think of that could potentially have happened sort of like this would be a bot fly.
Licking envelopes ever since, and just licking the envelope just made me think of that.
Because a cockroach egg is gonna get under your tongue.
Inside a paper cut on your tongue, and then grow inside of your tongue.
I'm calling the police right now.
I think this is a real story. I don't think I dreamt this. Have you heard this?
Lick
No.
this envelope.
I just did.
Lick it the full way.
No, I don't do that. You lick it. You haven't. Oh, ew! What's happening?
Ew. Didn't
Okay.
want to see that.
Licking
Now open it.
envelope.
Oh, this is why we don't do this. My whole point was that we don't do that.
Okay, so listen, I
been so
remember
mu-
this story, and I don't know if it was real or not. Cockroaches found in the mouth of a woman who licked an envelope. A California woman worked in a post office. She licked an envelope. In the process, cut her tongue. She noticed swelling in her tongue later. Doctor could not find anything wrong. It finally got so bad that she was having trouble eating. She went back to the doctor. He did some tests, found a lump on her tongue, and did surgery. During the surgery, he cut open the lump, and a live cockroach crawled out. It was determined she got cockroach eggs in her tongue from the envelope that caused the cut, and they incubated there. Okay, hold on. So this is on. This is a website that is a MythBuster website. So this is a rumor that other people have heard in the universe. This is the truth. This is a widely reported urban legend. There has never been a documented case of this happening.
Oh, praise
So
God. Okay.
I guess it was not true. Various versions of this false rumor are circulated, including one that describes people who got cockroach eggs.
Thanks
in
for
their
listening.
Salivary.
You made it all the way to the
glands?
end.
What? Infected
Look at
taco
you.
meat at a fast food
We
restaurant.
love you. Appreciate
Ew.
you.
Wow.
So it didn't actually happen, I guess, but-
Eric's like, we are
Bye.
done. You are done.
Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, we just said goodbye, but I forgot to show you guys my beautiful work on my mannequin head. So I'm going to show it to the camera up close. Here we go. So this is what I wanted to do to my hair for the Dress Like We're in High School episode. But I did this for like a trial run to my hair, and it
I mean,
Ripped
the
out all my hair.
detail is great. You can see the scalp, but
this is how I used to wear my hair in high school. So I had limited resources here today, so I just did the hairstyle that I love to have in high school. Which is like just basically, if you're just listening, it's just like a majillion rubber bands making a weird like spider web essentially on the top of your head. So that's the hairstyle we're going with today.
Eric
But
is
if it was real hair, not
so done.
synthetic, I could style it and curl it and make it all fun, but we don't have time for that. So anyway, now it's goodbye for real. Thanks for listening to the episode.
Yes, hi, police.
Goodbye.
I need someone to come take care of my wife.
Oh my gosh. That ended dramatically, but all right. Well, hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Thanks for the suggestion, and I'll keep trying to keep track of the suggested episodes so that I can give reactions to this very interesting couple. Anyway, all right. See you later. Bye.